I used to love camping. Used to. After what happened to me and my friends last fall, I don't think I'll ever step foot in the woods again. It was me, my girlfriend Emily, and our two friends Mark and Sarah. We planned a weekend camping trip deep in the Appalachian wilderness. No cell service, no nearby towns, just us, nature, and a couple of days to unwind. The first day was perfect. We hiked, swam in the river, and set up camp just before sunset. That night, we sat around the fire telling scary stories and roasting marshmallows. Typical camping fun. But as the fire started to die down, Mark suddenly shushed us. "Did you hear that?" We all froze, listening. At first, there was nothing, just the usual sounds of the forest. Then from the darkness beyond our fire's glow, we heard it. A scream, not just any scream. A blood-curdling, desperate girl's scream. It sounded close. Too close. Sarah clutched Mark's arm. "Oh my God. Someone needs help." Mark and I exchanged glances. My gut told me something was off. The scream had come from deep in the woods where no one should be. Emily's voice was barely a whisper. "Should we go check?" No one wanted to be the first to move. The fire crackled, casting flickering shadows across our faces. Another scream ripped through the night, this time more desperate, more pained. Mark stood up, grabbing the hatchet. "We can't just sit here." "Wait," I said. "Something doesn't feel right." The woods had gone silent. No insects. No rustling leaves. Just an unnatural, suffocating stillness. Then, from the direction of the scream, we heard movement. Heavy footsteps coming toward us. Slow, deliberate. We backed up toward the tents, our eyes locked on the dark tree line. The footsteps stopped just beyond the firelight. For a moment, there was nothing but silence. Then we heard it, a voice, weak, trembling. A girl's voice. "Help me." But something was wrong with it. It sounded off, like a recording played at the wrong speed. Sarah took a shaky step forward, but I grabbed her arm. "Don't." She looked at me, confused and terrified. But what if, before she could finish, the voice came again, louder this time, closer. "Help me." It was the exact same words, the exact same tone, like it hadn't changed at all. Then the fire between us died, snuffed out in an instant. We were plunged into darkness. Panic surged through me. I scrambled for my flashlight, my hands shaking so badly I could barely switch it on. When I did, I aimed it toward the woods. There was nothing there. No girl, no movement. Just trees. Emily was crying. Mark gripped the hatchet so tight his knuckles were white. Sarah whimpered, her breath coming in ragged gasps. And then, something ran past the tent. Fast. Too fast. The fabric rippled as it passed. We didn't wait. We grabbed our bags and ran. We didn't care where we were going. We just needed to get out. The entire way, I felt something behind us, watching, following. We didn't stop running until we reached the car. When we got home, none of us talked about it. We didn't need to. But sometimes, in the dead of night, I still hear it. That same voice would help me.
Alright, so this happened a couple of nights ago, and I still can't shake the feeling that I barely got away from something really messed up. I decided to go camping alone. Bad idea, I know, but I just wanted some peace. It was getting dark, and I was chilling by my fire, just enjoying the quiet, when I heard footsteps. Not like an animal rustling around, actual, deliberate footsteps. I look up, and there's this guy standing just at the edge of the firelight. He's tall, weirdly still, and just staring at me. "Evening," he says, like he's been standing there for a while, just waiting for me to notice him. Instantly, I got bad vibes. I managed to mutter back a, "Hey," while trying to keep my face neutral, but inside, full panic mode. My eyes dart to his truck parked a bit off in the trees. The back is cracked open, and I can see tools. A saw. A crowbar. And something wrapped in a dirty tarp. Then he asks, "You camping alone?" and takes a step closer. I don't know why, but my brain immediately went to, say no. Say people are coming. So I lie. Nah, my friends are on their way, should be here any minute. He just stares at me. No reaction. And then, he smiles. Not a friendly smile. It was like he knew something I didn't. That's so. At this point, I'm sweating. The fire flickers, and for a second, his face is in full view. His eyes? Empty. Just staring, unblinking. You should go, I say, trying to sound firm, but my voice wavers just a little. And then he does something that will haunt me forever. He takes another step forward. And another. Slow. Deliberate. Like he was testing how much fear he could squeeze out of me before I snapped. I take a step back. My boot crunches against the dirt, and in that second, his face shifts, like he enjoyed that reaction. "It's a lonely place out here," he says, voice low and almost amused. "Nobody to hear if something happens." My mouth goes dry. My heartbeat is so loud I swear he can hear it. The fire pops, making me flinch, and I swear I see the corners of his mouth twitch, like he's holding back a laugh. Then I hear it. A creak. From the truck. Like something shifting in the back. Like, someone else might be there. Watching. Waiting. That was it. I grabbed my backpack and bolted. I didn't care about my tent, my gear, nothing. I ran until my lungs were on fire. And even then, I didn't stop. Because the whole time, I swear I could hear someone moving in the trees behind me. I don't know who he was, what he wanted, or what was under that tarp. But I do know one thing, if I had stayed a second longer, I don't think I would have made it out. I've always loved camping. There's something about sitting around a fire, drinking cheap beer, and telling dumb stories with friends that feels comforting. But after what happened last summer, I don't think I'll ever set foot in the woods again. It was me, my best friend Kyle, and our two other friends, Sam and Eric. We picked a remote spot deep in the woods, about a 2-hour drive from the nearest town. No cell service, no civilization, just us and nature. Perfect, right? The first night was great. We drank, we laughed, and we passed out in our tents without a care in the world. But then, sometime in the middle of the night, I woke up to something that made my stomach turn. It was footsteps. Slow, crunching steps circling our tents. I held my breath, heart hammering, trying to convince myself it was just an animal. But then I heard something worse. Kyle's voice. But Kyle was snoring in the tent next to me. "Hey, guys. Where are you?" The voice was a perfect match to his, but it came from outside, near the trees. I felt ice flood my veins. My throat went dry. I wanted to wake the others, but my body refused to move. The footsteps came closer, just outside my tent. Then, scratching. Slow, deliberate scraping along the fabric. I squeezed my eyes shut, barely breathing. The scratching stopped. Silence stretched on for what felt like hours. Then, in a whisper so close it felt like it was right next to my ear, I heard, "Come out." I must have passed out from fear because the next thing I knew, morning light was filtering through the tent. I bolted upright, gasping for air. I told the others what happened, but they didn't believe me. Kyle joked that I was just dreaming. But then Sam, who had been quiet the whole morning, finally spoke up. I heard it too. That night, we sat by the fire, more on edge. None of us said it out loud, but we all felt it, something was watching us. We barely spoke, barely ate. The silence of the forest felt heavy, unnatural. Then, at exactly midnight, the voice came back. This time, it was Eric's voice. From deep in the woods, we heard him call out, "Guys, I need help." Eric was sitting right next to me. Every hair on my body stood on end. We turned our heads toward the voice, the fire crackling in the suffocating silence. Then, branches snapping. Leaves crunching. Something was running toward us. We grabbed whatever we could and sprinted to the car. As we were throwing our stuff in, Kyle froze. His eyes locked onto something just beyond the trees. I turned. My stomach dropped. There, just at the tree line, was a figure. Tall, thin, with limbs too long, too wrong. Its head was tilted, like it was studying us. And then, in Kyle's exact voice, it whispered, "Where are you going?" We didn't answer. We didn't breathe. We just got in the car and floored it. I don't know what we encountered that night. But I know one thing for sure, it knew our names. It knew our voices, and it wanted us to follow it.